He froze. A fly was walking over his pillow. So there must have been 2 flies. But then, which one had he killed? The innocent one or the guilty one? And if he'd killed the innocent one by accident, would this mistake come back to haunt him one day? "Would you please cut the shit?" he said to himself. And he started to get dressed. Drinking down a hefty mug of espresso, he put on his last articles of clothing, looking sharp as a knife, opened the French door, and went out onto the veranda. The day looked just like a picture postcard. A beach of golden sand, a turquoise sea, and a deep blue sky without so much as a hint of cloud. He could even see a sail far out on the water. Taking a deep breath, Montalbano filled his lungs with the briny air and felt reborn. To his right, at the water's edge, he noticed 2 men standing and quarreling. Although he was too far away to hear what they were saying, he could tell from the agitated way they moved their hands and arms that they were having a heated argument. Then, all at once, one of the men made a move that Montalbano didn't get a good glimpse of at first. He seemed to bring his right hand suddenly forward, causing it to flash in the sun. It was clearly a knife in the man's hand, but the other blocked it with both arms crossed, and in the same motion kneed his adversary in the cojones. The 2 men then grabbed each other bodily, lost their balance, and fell, all the while struggling fiercely and rolling around in the sand in each other's clutches. Without thinking twice, the inspector hopped down from the veranda and started running towards the men. As he drew near, he began to hear their voices. "I'll kill you, you fucking bastard! And I'll cut your heart out and eat it!" The inspector was out of breath when he caught up to them. By this point, one man already had the upper hand and was straddling his opponent, pinning the other's open arms with his knees, practically sitting on his belly and battering his face with punches. Just to stay on the safe side, Montalbano dealt the top man a powerful kick in the side, unsaddling him. Caught by surprise, the man fell sideways onto the sand, yelling, "Look out, he's got a knife!" The inspector turned around quickly. The man who'd been on the ground was now getting to his feet, and indeed he had a jackknife in his right hand. Montalbano had made a big mistake. The more dangerous of the 2 men was the one who'd been on the ground. But he didn't give him time even to open his mouth. With a kick to the face, he sent him down to the ground again on his back, in the same position as before, as the knife flew a good distance away. The other man, who had stood up again in the meantime, immediately took advantage of the situation to jump back on top of his opponent and resume punching him. Everything was back to square one. So Montalbano bent down, seized the puncher by the shoulders, and tried to pull him off the other. But since the man put up no resistance, the inspector himself lost his balance and fell back, belly up, as the puncher crashed down on top of him. Then, fast as lightning, the man with the knife jumped on both of them at once. The puncher was kicking wildly, trying to hit the inspector in the balls, as Montalbano pummeled him with his left fist, while with his right he hammered the man on top of them both, who was trying in turn to blind the inspector with one hand and do the same to his adversary with the other. They looked, in short, like a giant ball with 6 arms and 6 legs flying out as it rolled along the sand, a ball yelling curses, smacking punches, shouting threats, and dealing kicks, until a voice, very close and imperious, commanded, "Stop, or I'll shoot." The 3 men froze and looked. The person who'd shouted was a lance corporal of the Carabinieri, pointing a machine gun at them. Behind the corporal was another uniformed Carabinieri holding the jackknife. Apparently they'd been passing along the coastal road parallel to the beach, had seen 3 men brawling, and intervened. "Get on your feet." The 3 men stood up. "Move," the corporal continued, gesturing with his head that they should walk towards a large paddy wagon parked along the road with a Carabinieri at the wheel. To tell or not to tell? Montalbano asked himself hamletically as he walked along towards the van.